What's good, everybody? It's Kaige-O Gaming, and we are back with some more Mass Effect 3. Now, last time we left off, we just got the Krogan woman. We're talking to people on the ship. We just talked to Rex and Victus, and they both have some missions for us to do. I think now is one of those times where we check in with the squad. See how everybody's doing. We did part of the main story. I feel like that's when people have the most to say.
Solarians would have a base on their homeworld secured better.
Nah, they were solid. Cerberus has Reaper tech. Compared to those upgrades, the Solarians might as well have been throwing rocks.
Yeah. These ladies be talking stuff. They're little drama queens.
Commander, we've got new reports of Cerberus activity on Tuchanka. I've marked it on the galaxy map.
Cerberus attack?
Commander, nice to see you again.
How are you settling in, trainer?
I actually feel somewhat useful. It's been challenging to integrate data feeds for the War Summit.
How are the systems holding?
Well, I'm glad we performed stress tests.
Specialist Trainer has been extremely helpful. The accuracy of our war room data is a direct result of her work.
Thank you, Edie. I'm still getting used to all of this. In the lab, we'd hoard everything, piles of tech everywhere. Out here, it's like living out of a shoebox.
Life on an active ship always feels crowded at first. You'll get used to it.
Oh, it's not a bad thing. I've got no problems getting cozy. This is wonderful. Back in the lab, we had to hoard because we had no budget. Now, Edie, Ariake Tech uses a proprietary smart processing algorithm that could clean up our long-range data. Can we license it?
We can. Analyzing and applying the upgrade now. The algorithm should reduce long-range strategic combat data analysis time by 3%.
Impressive.
If it means getting the equipment I need, I can quite happily live out of a shoebox.
Nice.
Commander, I've set up a secure communications with the Turian and Solarian governments and added their combat data to our boards. Hopefully it'll give us some idea of what's going on. Commander?
Oh, she seems useful. Info for you. Hi, Shepard. It's been a while. I'm glad to hear you made it off Earth and that Liara's with you. Getting off her old ship was the best thing we could have done. Can't tell you how sick I was of that cabin and of tripping over that drone. I don't even know how it kept finding me in a ship that big, even after I turned off its tracking. I dug up some interesting information for you. Talk with Glyph to sort out the data. I hope it helps, Shepard. It's getting rough out here. Farron. Major Karahi. Commander, it was a pleasure seeing you again on Surkesh, even if the circumstances were less than ideal. It seems fate has decided our meetings coincide with galactic threats. So be it. To that end, I wanted to reiterate that STG will be there to help you when the need arises, regardless of the political climate. You were there for us in our hour of need. We look forward to returning the favor. Best of luck, Major Karahi, 3rd Infiltration Regiment, Special Task Group. ANN Alert, new article on indoctrination. From Alliance News Network Information Partners, Thessia, Asari scientist Rana Thanoptis, has died in custody, allegedly committing suicide after she was arrested for the murder of multiple Asari military officials. Prior to her death, investigators said Thanoptis spoke of voices in her head, which they believed to be indicative of her indoctrination. The voices foretold the ascension of the Asari and told Thanoptis that anyone fighting the Reapers needed to die. Thanoptis worked on a top-secret project for former Spectre Saren Arterius several years ago, where she likely became indoctrinated. She received a pardon from the Asari government in exchange for providing research assistance on Reaper technology. Thanoptis was believed responsible for planting a makeshift explosive device that detonated at a research center, killing 5 visiting Asari military officials along with 4 civilians. The attack seriously wounded a dozen more and caused significant damage to the facility. Investigators say they are not seeking any more suspects in the case. Okay. Check in on Edie and Joker.
The Krogan and the Turians really should get behind the Alliance. They've got so much in common, like shooting things and not wanting to die, and... no, that's about it. So, bringing the Krogan to a war summit went well? You want me to invite the Batarians too? Or the Vorcha?
Building alliances is the only way we stand a chance against the Reapers.
Yeah, but the Krogan? I'd feel better if we had a tighter plan, like time travel or teaching the Reapers to love. How's the new Solarian working out? What's his name, not Morden?
Fine. His name's Paddock Wicks.
I'm just gonna go with not Morden.
Oh my god.
Commander?
It is good you came by. I have questions about the genophage.
You and everyone else.
What do you need, Edie?
A Krogan female of breeding age can produce clutches of up to 1,000 fertilized eggs over the course of a year. There are over 1 billion females on Tuchanka. If even 1% become fully fertile, they can birth 10 billion infants.
On Earth, bugs have a lot of young too. Most of them die.
The attrition rate would naturally be high, but the state has an interest in keeping the children alive for warfare purposes.
Any other cheerful thoughts?
Logistics. Even were they to side with us, transporting the Krogan to the battlefields of Palaven could prove difficult. They have been demilitarized. That is, they have no warships.
What do you suggest?
They will need Turian or civilian starships to carry them to battle. With your permission, I will make the necessary calls to have these ships in place for when you deliver the Krogan.
Do it. Anything else?
Food. They will be unable to eat anything on Palaven. They must bring their own or rely on the nutrients in their humps.
This keeps getting better and better.
The Krogan will also require sedatives, since Krogan fight with others of their kind in enclosed spaces such as starships.
Make it happen. Are there any last things you're worried about?
Nothing that demands your attention, Shepard.
Jeez. +2 reputation, nice.
Just a moment. I'm conversing with Engineer Adams.
So I'm looking at the tests for the IFF upgrade. It looks like you've got a few million duplicate encryption keys.
That is correct. I keep them in the system in case I need to restart a particular key's evolution.
The keys evolve?
Reaper interrogation signals do not simply look for a friendly transponder code. They look for a friendly intelligence. The extra keys help me seamlessly swap in simulated intelligence identifiers from divergent synthetic origins.
I see. So we need all the copies to seem like a living Reaper.
Yes, I tried saying,
humans are dust in the stellar wind.
but apparently that is no longer sufficient.
Okay.
Hello, Shepard.
Very cool. Man, yeah, that Krogan stuff seems messy. Oh, I wish we had Morden back on the ship with us. That's so... That hurts me. That hurts my soul. Poor Morden, man. He's a good guy. We couldn't save him. Alright, let's go talk to everybody else.
I can't imagine anything so traumatic. You sure you're okay, Karen?
I wouldn't wish a collector abduction on my worst enemy. But it's behind me now. I'm fine. But it makes me think of Earth and all the other Reaper-occupied worlds. What are the Reapers doing to the people who live on all those worlds? As we sit here, enjoying our coffee. How many souls are in agony this very moment? Millions? Billions? Oh, Greg. I lied. I'm not fine.
Hello, Commander.
Everything okay in the medbay?
Yes. Paddock would just like some space to work with Eve.
He kicked you out?
Oh no. I just felt I was getting in his way. I'll return when I'm needed. Commander.
Okay. Dang. I can't believe that could have been Morden. I don't remember which rooms are filled. It's so weird to come in these rooms and see them empty. Kasumi, Thane. Shadow Broker.
Still relying on the Protheans for all the answers?
It will work, Rex. We just need to finish building the Crucible. Although I'd be interested to learn how you found out about it.
Wasn't that hard. Lucky you keep its location more secret than the fact it exists.
And I'm sure you'll do a good job of both, being so famous for your discretion.
My lips are sealed.
Cool. Remains of Reaper Destroyer. To avoid the risk of indoctrination, remote drones have been sent to study the salvage remains of a Reaper Destroyer. The drones can dig under the outer hull, scanning circuits for technology that will increase the speed at which combat abilities can be fired. Alternatively, the Council has offered a Citadel-wide merchant discount for choosing the safer option and demolishing the remains. Power recharge speed or store discount bonus? You know we're going that recharge speed, baby. That's cool. Can't we talk to Glyph? No. Email from Professor Takisha to Dr. Adjuol. I was calling every supply depot stationed around the Crucible to find enough pure platinum for the Crucible's primary trigger inlay. We barely had enough left to coat a coffee maker. An hour later, a ship pulled up with 16 tons of platinum, courtesy of the Shadow Broker. Then it flew away to scavenge more materials for the project. The ship's captain emailed me later saying the broker would stay in touch with our needs. That's great, but I'm checking my computer for bugs.
Perhaps we can talk later.
Okay. I thought Farron told us to talk to Glyph. Yeah, I'm trying to talk to you, big guy. I guess not. Okay. Let's talk to Garrus.
Shepard, they say female Krogan have a thing for guys with scars.
So I've heard.
I've got a few, myself. Here's hoping nobody's planning an arranged marriage to cement this deal. Though I have to say, I admire Eve. The things she must have endured living with the Genophage. And now, to top it all off, she's her people's last hope. Imagine the pressure. Takes real courage to face that. I hope we can measure up. I guess we're at war with Cerberus now, huh? I've never actually seen a female Krogan. Seems like they're the real brains on Tuchanka. Paddock seems like a decent enough guy. I wonder if he knew Morden. Good to see you. Good to see you.
The constant reminder of Morden hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. Why, Morden? Why?
I admire your bravery. You're now the savior of your entire race. The transmutative agent that propels a species to a new stage of evolution. Many will fear that. Ah, Commander, we were just...
Are you okay?
I'm fine, Rex. You can relax.
Can't be too careful, or put any faith in Solarian doctors.
This one is different.
Is he? What's that?
A blood test. Commander, please explain to him my only goal is to ensure her health is stable.
He was your inside source, Rex. You can trust him.
Solarians have minds like a maze. You never know when they're leading you into a trap.
Then we're in the same trap. By helping you, my career in STG is almost certainly over.
Why do it?
Every species has their role to play. Centuries from now, the Krogan could be the pinnacle of galactic evolution.
Even I don't believe that. But I want my people to.
Then let him work, Rex.
Just keep her safe. Our females have endured enough.
Of course. And remember, I still need your tissue sample.
I'll be back.
Now if that's settled, I have work to do before he changes his mind.
Cool.
So thank you for saving my life, Commander.
She was about to say something.
I didn't think the Krogan had any allies left in the galaxy.
We owe a lot to you, even if most people have forgotten that.
They can be forgiven. Our actions have hardly inspired friendship.
Part of being friends is knowing each other's name. I feel bad that I don't know yours.
I surrendered it the day I became a shaman of the female clan. I belong to my sisters now. But perhaps one day, when this is over, you can know it.
How did you get involved in Malin's experiments?
The other females and I volunteered. We heard Malin was trying to cure the genophage for Clan Weirlock.
Aren't they a rival clan?
Rivalries are the invention of the males. Under their rule, Tuchanka has laid in ruins for over 1,000 years. It's time females took back our place in society and resurrected our future. Malin was our best hope.
Would you go to Malin again?
Absolutely. It only takes one candle to light a fire, and then the darkness is no more.
I'm sorry none of the other females survived.
I know. The youngest one, Kern, was the last to go. But she knew she would enter the void free of this curse, and then smile when she looked down upon the children of Tuchanka. Her spirit will be the midwife to my firstborn.
I found Malin's lab. It looked like a dungeon. His experiments were brutal.
We learned that too late. He meant well, but his methods grew more barbaric as he went. We finally escaped into the rubble. Eventually, a Solarian team found us. They saved our lives. We were so sick.
I didn't realize the Krogan had female shamans.
Wisdom comes from pain, and the Genophage has made us very wise. Rather than surrender to despair, a few of us chose to preserve the ancient ways. We safeguard our culture, our knowledge, our secrets. So when our children live again, the Krogan will flourish.
How were you initiated?
You're locked in a cave for 7 days with just enough food to last. On the 8th, you'll starve.
What does that prove?
Your resolve. Every acolyte is given a chance. You either claw your way out through the rock with your bare hands, or you die.
How did you make it out alive?
I started digging the wrong way. I was in complete darkness. Nothing other than my own heartbeat to sustain me.
What happened?
I found this. A simple crystal, but it became my chisel. Take it as a reminder, Commander. In the darkest hour, there is always a way out.
That's a brutal initiation.
But an illuminating one. You learn to appreciate the light by living in the dark.
Okay.
What do you think of Rex?
When he's not trying to sire half of Tuchanka, he's the best thing that's happened to the Krogan. But I won't tell him that. His head's big enough already. Literally.
He's turned into a strong leader.
I know in his heart Rex wants what's best for us. Though not all the other clans see it that way.
Why would the other clans give Rex trouble? You'd think they'd want a better future.
It's not in the nature of our males to cooperate. They've evolved to be selfish. Their only concern is survival. Rex is different. He's a mutant. And that you can tell him.
Do you think Rex will want revenge for the Genophage?
Some clans will expect it, but I hope Rex resists. He understands the cycle of violence must end if Krogan are ever to have a voice in galactic politics. Still, he's just one Krogan. If enough clans demand it, he may not be able to stop them.
If you don't mind me asking, what's it been like living with the Genophage?
I knew sisters who couldn't bear the shame of being infertile. They would wander off into the wastelands, hoping a Thresher Maw would kill them and end their torment.
Wow.
Did the thought ever cross your mind?
Yes. After my first stillborn.
What kept you from ending your own life?
When my child didn't draw breath, that's when my life truly began. The Genophage forces us to live on hope alone. There is nothing else. There is no reason to exist other than the hope that the next day will bring change. And if it doesn't, there is always the next.
How do you think things will change after the Genophage is cured?
Our species will find its balance again. Females will help shape the future, like in the ancient days, before we were just pawns of power-hungry males.
Most seem hell-bent on shooting anything that looks at them wrong.
What else is there for them to do? Because of the Genophage, they become wandering killers, seeking targets to justify their existence. Excuses to earn them honor.
How has Paddock Wicks been treating you?
Better than Krogan males do. He's not like a typical Solarian.
How so?
Most are arrogant, always reminding us they uplifted our race. He's a deep thinker. We've had talks about philosophy, religion, evolution. His hopes for a Krogan future have given me hope.
Do you trust him?
The other Solarians would rather have let me die. Wick stood up to them. He demanded medical treatment for my sisters and me. I doubt he has any friends left on Sirkash.
Okay.
Thanks for talking to me.
It's my pleasure, Commander. I've only met a few humans in my time. I'm glad for the opportunity.
Cool.
Commander, Eve's blood tests are in good order. Malin's notes have been invaluable in restoring her health.
I'm glad I saved them.
Nice.
You quite possibly saved her life, too.
Very cool.
How have you been getting along with Eve?
She tried to kill me at first. Krogan don't react well to Solarians doing medical tests on them. Once that was cleared up, we've formed something of a cross-species relational bond.
You mean you're friends now?
It's more an agreement not to kill each other. Species take time to evolve. So do friendships. Though I still haven't learned her real name yet. Have you?
She said it's a secret.
Baffling custom. I suppose Eve will have to do for now. Though one wonders how other Krogan would get her attention. Excuse me, Krogan of female persuasion. Do you have a moment?
This guy's kind of funny.
How have you been getting along with Eve?
She tried to kill me at first. Once that was cleared up,
okay,
we've formed something of a cross-species relationship.
How is this cure gonna work?
I'm hoping it will inspire a resurgence in Krogan sex. I've always wondered how they mated.
Not what I meant.
No, but you were probably thinking it. And now's our chance. In the interest of science, how do Krogan mate?
Very clumsily.
And there we have it. Could be worth writing a paper someday. Now, as to your question. We can extract the DNA that renders immunity from her tissue to produce a viable mutagen. In turn, this mutagen will alter the gland function across the whole Krogan species. Large and presumably irritable infants will soon follow.
Anyone ever tell you you're a bit odd?
It's the odd ones, the mutations, who move life forward. They expand the possibilities. On that, Morden, Solace, and I agreed.
Morden could be pretty unusual, too.
A side effect of our work. It often decides the fate of millions, even billions of lives. No mind is immune to the pressure. We all fracture in different ways. Morden's conscience haunted him. Malin crossed the line into barbaric experiments. And myself, I went searching for whatever gods created the rules for this unfortunate universe.
I'm curious. Why do this for a problem that doesn't even affect you?
But it does. The willful extinction of another species benefits no one. We all lose eventually. The Krogan may lack beauty, perhaps even brains, but so did your ancestors. And mine. Every species has a fatal flaw, a flaw that is theirs alone to overcome. We cannot deny them the opportunity to evolve.
So you'll put your own life on the line for the Krogan?
For the larger principle, yes. I've spent my career planning which species deserve uplift and which do not. But no one ever asked if we had earned the right to make those plans. We are not the originator.
Who do you think decides what the plan is?
The question of the hour. The very reason religions are invented. Unfortunately, at this hour, the answer seems to be the Reapers.
That's fair.
But even they evolved for some purpose, and by some design.
Have you had any luck finding answers?
There have been hints, like finding an artist's signature in a painting. The way the pattern in a Tanvorian mulwitch's feathers resemble the galactic spire. That's almost showing off. But none of it constitutes proof. Just intuition.
Most scientists I meet don't feel that way.
Then they're blind. So much grandeur in creation. It can't be an accident.
Okay, I like this guy.
I knew an STG scientist named Morden Solus. Have you heard of him?
Indeed. I once punched him in the face.
Oh.
You what?
He was still an STG at the time. I postulated there was more to evolution than just random mutation. Morden disagreed. We argued, we drank, then argued some more. Soon enough, a good fracas seemed the best way to settle things.
Who won?
He got a black eye. I broke a few fingers. We called it even and went back to drinking.
So the two of you were friends?
Some weeks, yes. Some weeks we didn't speak to each other. There were tremendous stresses for those involved in genophage research. My side of it was all theoretical. His side, well, he went to Tachanka. He saw its effects up close. He was never the same after that. I now understand.
I'm sorry to say Morden died.
I know. STG is aware of your mission through the Omega-4 relay. For Morden's sake, I hope he finally found the grace he deserved. And new music. If I hear Gilbert and Sullivan one more time, it's astonishing what noise some species consider harmonious.
Thanks. I appreciate your help in this.
And I appreciate the chance to witness this moment in history, Commander. We're charting a new course in evolution.
Very cool. I like the new guy. I miss Morden, but he's cool. He's a good replacement. Alrighty, down another level to engineering. Let's go see what Javik's got to say.
Interested in my people, Asari.
Protheans were always an enigma, a mystery to solve. I wanted to know what happened to your civilization. Why did such an enlightened race disappear?
Enlightened?
Well, it seemed that way.
And now that I am here,
I wonder what it's like waking up 50,000 years later to a new galaxy.
I believe this cycle cares too much about what other species think. Krogan, Turian, Solarian, all were primitives in my time. What good does their help do now?
We can't win this war on our own.
Then demand their help. Do not indulge their selfish requests. What will saving one Krogan matter?
If only it were that simple.
If they get in your way, destroy them.
Excuse me?
I apologize. The previous occupant of this room left traces of himself. I have absorbed some of them.
Yes, Grunt. He was a strong one. Maybe it's best if I let you recover.
That would be best.
Okay, that's cool. Seeing parts of Grunt live through him.
Did I mention Solarians used to lick their eyes? How far they have come, though they still speak too fast. This Cerberus, I do not understand why your own kind would oppose you. They will bleed the same as everyone if the Reapers are not stopped.
For real.
The Rex Krogan offered me a job. He said whenever I tired of the easy life of luxury on the Normandy, he would give me something real to shoot at.
Talking about a Thresher Maw? Or Krogan?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Alright. I don't think we have anybody on the starboard cargo. Oh, no, we do.
Just an opinion piece. You don't like it? Don't download it.
You're saying we don't need Terra Nova.
Lose one colony, save 5. That's the math.
Someone's gonna take you seriously. The Asari Republics vote on stuff like this.
We'd all save every world if we could, but we can't.
You think you can fly on this ship, sit next to us at chow time, and then broadcast something like that? That's traitorous.
Hey, it's just an opinion piece. You don't like it? Don't download it.
You're saying we don't need Terra Nova.
Lose the peace or lose your spot on this ship, Allers.
This is exactly what I was afraid of.
Thanks, Commander. What's your choice, Allers? Like you said, it's just your opinion, right?
I'll pull it.
+2 reputation. I honestly didn't mean to support that, but if she's insinuating sacrificing a world, I mean, yeah, sacrifice 1 to save 5, I see that point, but to basically say out loud, sacrifice this world is pretty crazy.
Cerberus stealthily strikes Star System shield. No, glad I read that one out loud. Do we need to talk, Commander?
Get off my ship?
Not right now, Allers.
Let me know when we do.
I can tell her to leave. I don't think I want to do that. I do think I would have chose to support him. You can't vocalize that off the Normandy to sacrifice a world. What the heck? Alright, nobody down here. Let's talk to the engineer and our good old buddy pals.
Kenneth, do you ever think about when we were abducted by...
No, I don't.
Me neither.
Okay.
Those FBA couplings you got last tour are still holding up. Thanks again, Commander.
Nice.
Commander?
Power grid is in the green. Power grid is in the green.
Okay, engineer's not here because he was talking to Shakwas. Let's go talk to Cortez and James. Also look at our stuff. I wouldn't mind buying something. We have a decent amount of money. Why is everything like... What's going on? It's like lagging. Ammo capacity. No, we'll take the weapon damage. Melee damage. No, we'll take the health boost. Okay. Sporting goods. Ultralight materials would be nice. Collector armor. Shield regen, shields, and health. So this is like a tanky kind of stuff. Terminus, melee damage, ammo, and shields. I'm good on that. Okay. Oh, Blood Dragon armor. Shields, power damage, and power recharge speed. That sounds kind of nice. Metagel capacity we want, for sure. Inferno armor. Power damage and power recharge speed. That sounds really nice. These are all weapons. Attachments and weapons. Cerberus armor. Weapon damage, shields, health. That sounds kind of nice. I think I'm gonna go with either... So that's 30 and 30. Or 30, 10, and 20 shields. I'm gonna get the Inferno armor. And then I also probably want to upgrade our weapons. What gun do we like? I mean, we only have the one pistols. Let's get both of those. What's the assault rifle we're using? I don't remember. Phase 10. This one. Let's get 2 upgrades on this. Alright, let's get 3 upgrades on that. Procurement, sporting goods, SMG ultralight materials. Let's buy that. And power recharge speed is 155. Yeah, 60%. Nice. Okay, I like it. The Inferno armor. We lose everything else, but power damage and power recharge speed. Oh my gosh, we can go crazy. Always prepared. Gunsmith. Metagel capacity. Alright, Cortez is over here. The Inferno armor's kind of ugly, not gonna lie, but...
Sir Kesh certainly offered me a new experience.
What do you mean?
Normally, I'm not one to fly co-pilot, but when an 800-pound Krogan requests to take control of your shuttle, you comply.
Probably wise.
Yeah, that's fair, dude.
Everything is in order. Everything is in order.
Okay. Cool, cool. Let's talk to James, and then we'll get on out of here.
Wonder what the hell Cerberus was up to on Surkesh. I hear we're headed to Tuchanka. Would love to see how things turn out. I'm just saying.
Oh, so he wants to come along.
Rex is a badass. I bet he's got some real interesting stories to tell. That Solarian scientist is a bit odd. I mean, even for Solarian. Hey.
Okay, cool. So James requested to come along on Tuchanka. Interesting. Okay, timeout. Because what do our missions say right now? Cerberus attack. Everything's on Tuchanka. I kind of want to do this at the Rachni relay. Investigate the missing team and find out what happened. So maybe we'll fly around a little bit. Do we need to hit the fuel depot? No. Investigate missing scouts is here. Citadel. We'll go here first. Is this where? Is this the Asgard one? Trebia. Castellus is 100%. Okay, we gotta go here. Oh yeah. Okay. This is just a fuel wreckage. Okay. Another fuel wreckage. 800, jeez. Phyros. Phyros is an asteroid towed near the Class B blue giant Gamay to search as a terrestrial military base in a system devoid of planets. A vast array of solar collectors absorb energy from the star and beam it to receptors near the tidally locked asteroid's terminator zone. Beneath the surface, dozens of particle accelerators generate antiprotons for the starship fuel. The Reapers sent a substantial force to Gamay's system, but found that the Turians were capable and prepared to defend their Armada's fuel source. Warning messages say the Reapers are still present in the system, awaiting reinforcements. At present, the Turians can still refuel, but only because they committed forces here that could otherwise have defended Palaven. Turian 79th Flotilla. Okay, that's everything. Alright, we're done here. Awesome. Exodus cluster next. This one's Asgard. Are we gonna have enough? It's cutting it close. I don't know if we'll make it back. We should be fine. Loki. A small terrestrial world with little to recommend it. Loki's one hemisphere is largely covered by ice and the others by craggy, basaltic highlands. The rough, varied terrain suggests an ancient cataclysm caused significant damage to the planet, reaching 6.5 AU at the perigee and 7.1 AU at the apogee. Loki's unusual elliptical orbit reinforces this hypothesis. Beneath Loki's ice cap runs a naturally formed network of subterranean tunnels. These may have proven useful to Alliance forces in retreat. Nevertheless, any organics hidden here remain in peril, as Loki's atmosphere is inhospitable and Reaper scanning technology is efficient. Alliance Spec Ops Team Delta. 80% assets recovered. Where is it? Show it to me. It's over there, damn it.
Reapers eluded.
That's not worth it. Okay, so at least we know where the last thing's at next time we come here. Hit the mass relay. 85. Let's go to the Citadel and just dock real quick. We'll do it for free. Might as well replenish for free instead of having to spend money. It does take a little extra time, but I think it's worth it. Enter. Dock.
You're cleared to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
No thanks.
I'll handle it.
Yes, Commander.
We're just trying to refuel for free. I'm just curious where some of these, like, side quests are. Alright, so next we'll go to Kite's Nest. Everything here is discovered. Alright, both of these are 50%. Here it is. Okay, fuel wreckage. That's 100%. Let's go down to Volar. Okay. Where's that? Okay.
Faster than light jump successful.
Sadly couldn't find that.
I found something.
Okay. Wreckage. Take it. Attic. Attic is brutally hot and wet garden world covered with molds and lichen analogs. It has many viruses and bacteria lethal to Batarian physiology. The hegemony colonized Attic early in its expansion, but few of the colonists wanted to stay. The result was domination by a class of landed slave owners. A small cadre of well-paid engineers and skilled laborers kept the planet's mechs and infrastructure functioning. Alliance estimates put the planet's Batarian population at just over 6 million, but that number has likely fallen since the Reapers arrived. Okay, 10,000 credits. Awesome. So that's going to be it for here. So we just have that one planet that we couldn't find. Alright, let's go to Gemini Sigma. Do we need to scan here?
Signal confirmed.
Mavagon. Mavagon is a small rock and ice planet with a thin atmosphere of ammonia and methane. The surface is frozen and mainly composed of tin with deposits of potassium. The planet has rudimentary ammonia-based life, mainly concentrated around the geothermal vents deep underground. Severe storm cycles are common. Due to limited visibility, navigation may be difficult. Okay, more credits. We'll take it. Is this a wreckage? It is. Take it. Let's get out of here.
Evasion successful.
Alright, to Hades Gamma. Alright, let's go to one of these side planets first. Plutus.
I found something.
Okay, Nonule. Though it is one of the oldest entries in the star charts, Nonule has not yet been fully mapped. It is the largest body in the asteroid belt of the blue star Plutus, not only large enough to maintain a spherical shape, but also mass enough to retain the noxious carbon and sulfur dioxides venting from its many volcanoes as an atmosphere. Nonule is rapidly volcanic, and the source of its great heat is also the source of its inordinate mass. Nonule is a secondary source of element 0, coalesced around a large chunk of Ezo ejected by a supernova billions of years ago. This should be helping our war score out quite a bit, which we need. Special Ops Team Zeta. Looks like we got two things, no? 103rd Marine Division. Big planet? No. Okay. Sadly, couldn't find
Reapers
it.
eluded.
We need to go this way. I hope this leaves us with enough fuel to get back. It should. Alright, let's go far side first.
Signal confirmed.
Okay. Cleansel. Cleansel has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its first geological surveys were performed by Batarians and suggested areas of great mineral wealth. Human mining concerns spent billions of credits hustling to the distant system and sinking test spores to claim the system for humanity. But Clenshaw had only an average level of mineral wealth, valuable but hardly worth the Russian expense. Merida Industria, a small Mexican company hoping to strike it rich in their first extrasolar mining venture, had to file for bankruptcy protection. Investigation revealed that Batarian crew had deliberately falsified their surveys, hoping it would encourage human rivals to invest in a costly boondoggle. While unethical, this was not technically illegal, and the Batarian government disavowed the personal actions of a few misguided patriots. The planet is still littered with abandoned mining bases, which are often used as temporary meeting places for criminals. Okay. Credits. Wreckage, 200. Go this way.
Faster than light jump successful.
Can we make it over here and back? I hope so. That's gonna be tough. This is gonna be a close call.
I found something.
Juntama? is a small broiling terrestrial world. Its thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane is being steadily blown off by the powerful solar wind from the star Farinata. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of copper. Its density is low enough to leave the world tidally locked to Farinata. The Alliance Defense Data Network notes that several ships have been spotted cruising near Juntama with transponders turned off. While an Alliance patrol attempted pursuit of one, the unidentified vessel rabbited to FTL. Its trail was lost when it obscured its light trace in the confusion of signals along the Anansi Ishtar shipping lane. I can't believe we haven't found like any quest items yet. Alliance Frigate Agincourt? Alliance First Fleet. More fuel. We need it. Perfect. Let's head on out of here. At least we got most of this system. Let's go to Cacus. See if we can't finish this. That would be amazing. First one's a no-go.
Signal confirmed.
Alright, make this quick. Kaige is a terrestrial planet whose surface is mainly composed of aluminum with numerous deposits of calcium. Though it has enough mass to retain a dense atmosphere, Kaige is nearly a vacuum. This lack of atmosphere allows a moderate to average temperature, but the differences between day and night are extreme. The surface of Kaige's sunward-facing side is usually covered by a haze of volatiles, mainly water vapor and carbon dioxide, which return to the ground as frost over the course of long, cold night. The Serta Foundation has established a research outpost on Kaige to investigate the native subterranean life of Kaige, which shows incredible resilience to extremes of heat and cold. More credits. See if we can get the scan on the way. Sadly, no.
Evasion successful.
Okay, well, we got pretty close to finishing this off, which is nice. Okay, let's just get out of here.
Reapers eluded.
77, 50, 88, 85. I think we have the fuel depot here. Yes, we do. We'll go ahead and purchase the fuel this time. It's not super expensive. I mean, basically filling all the way up costs us what, like about 1,000? I think I saw. So we hit here, 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 and here. That's a new place. Let's try to hit the rift again. So where is this thing? Huh.
Faster than light jump successful.
Couldn't make it there. Let's try the Pylos Nebula. Let's go to Dorada first. Where are these quest items at? Okay, we don't have Reaper threat here. Can't find anything anyways. Oh, we do. It's just very low. Oh, we don't have anything to scan here, huh?
I found something.
Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. Cineus, a standard hydrogen helium gas giant. Cineus has more than 80 moons. That was nice and simple. Not much to read there. Radiation shielding sheath. And then probably some fuel. We'll take it. Fill her back on up. Let's see if we can fully explore the system. Now, I'm gonna guess we've had to have hit the planets already. Okay, just fuel. But the system's done.
Evasion successful.
Awesome. 100%. This is 100. That's 100. 100. Crescent Nebula? Is this a place that we have to scan for? What's up with this system? Okay. Reaper alertness is low. We have Lucerne here. So do we have to find Benning? Is that what's happening here? Like, it's not like something we actually scan? Or like, what's up with that? Because it doesn't say assets at all.
Signal confirmed.
No, we have assets. Lucerne's heat pummels the Norana belt, a ring of protoplanetary material relatively close to the star. However, this heat is not enough to instigate true melting as occurs in a planet's formation, so carbonaceous asteroids such as Bayalt retain a primitive makeup. Bayalt has yet to be exploited, so the Reapers appear to have ignored it. Probe suggested is high in chondrites and troilite. Dude, this system's huge. Like, actually huge. How did we miss something? There it is. A wreckage. Cool. Alright, let's get out of here.
Reapers eluded.
50%. So we definitely have some stuff to find here. Yeah, I think some of these quests we might end up looking up, because if we have to sit there and look at every planet...
I found something.
Oh, Ilium. Ilium is a classic garden world, an entrepot between the Terminus systems and the Asari republics. To abet this trade, the normally stringent custom laws of Council Space on product safety, prescribed materials, and sapient trafficking are lax. The world is hot and massive. Ground settlement is only possible at the higher polar latitudes. In more equatorial locations, the population is housed in arcology skyscrapers to escape the heat of the surface. Reaper forces met a surprising amount of resistance at Ilium. Its leaders were paranoid about keeping their fortunes and were influential in both Terminus and Citadel space. They outfitted their large defense fleet with a high number of fission weapons, and in the brief space battle used them on the Reaper's fleet troop transports rather than their near impervious capital ships. As a result, the inevitable ground invasion has been slowed to a crawl as the Reapers manufacture more troops. Cool. Ilium's holding it down. Liquid assets. Okay. It's getting a little close. Ah, there it is too. I think it's just fuel.
Faster than light jump successful.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea where Benning is. So let's go investigate the missing scouts. Might have to look up where Benning is, or some of this other stuff. Can we scan here? Really? Reaper alertness. Okay, so we'll hold off on that. But before we go any further, we are going to go ahead and end things here before we go ahead and start that quest. If you're not interested in the Daily Codex, I hope to see you next time. If you are, let's go ahead and get into it. Artifacts. The Citadel Council has called for the immediate donation of Prothean artifacts to bolster the war effort, primarily items of Reaper origin and recordings of their attacks. The Exogeny Corporation set an example by donating a store of newly discovered paleotechnology and releasing the data archives of deep space research colonies destroyed by the Reapers. Several private collectors have since stepped forward to donate the entirety of their collections. But despite an offer of amnesty for anyone concealing such artifacts, not everyone has responded as the Council hoped. Several artifacts have been found in obscure underground markets on safe haven worlds, presumably sold by newly arrived refugees who needed funds to survive. Reports say that smugglers continue to sell stolen artifacts, and armed raids on archaeological sites have rendered even legal operations extremely hazardous. After several reports of mercenary groups turning on the archaeologists who hired them, Elena's Risk Control Services began to offer security details for archaeological sites at considerably reduced rates. Artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box. An AI cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The guests serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI. In Citadel space, they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity deserving the same rights as organics. They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism. On the part of organic life, the term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative. Virtual intelligence is an advanced form of user interface software. VIs use a variety of methods to simulate natural conversation, including an audio interface and an avatar personality to interact with. Although a VI can provide a convincing emulation of sentience, they are not self-aware, nor can they rely or take independent action. VIs are used as operating systems on commercial and home computers. Minimal VI agents are also available. Agents are compact and specialized. Some serve as personal secretaries, filtering calls and scheduling meetings based on user-defined priorities. Others are advanced search engines, propagating themselves across the extranet to collate user-requested data. Commercial VIs and a variety of stock personalities are available at any software retailer. Boutique firms and hobbyists also build unique VIs to personal specification. Although software emulation of living personalities is illegal, reconstructions of famous historical figures are common. Darkness breached Leviathan's secrets. Non-console races Leviathan. Essentially, nothing was known of the aquatic species dubbed Leviathans before Commander Shepard's report to Task Force Aurora. No record of the species' true name exists, no ruins are attributed to their civilization, and no influence on other races has been recorded. The task force can only conjecture based on the limited information provided by Shepard. Their current world is unlikely their home world, so it is surmised that the Leviathans mastered technology in spaceflight despite their immense size and aquatic nature. Their ability to communicate with and mentally dominate land-based sapients would have been a necessary step, and so whatever homeworld the Leviathans hail from would have included a thrall species whose civilization served their purposes. Presumably, their bodies can withstand both the extreme pressure of the depths and lesser pressure of a coastal area where they might come into contact with these thralls. Transporting a creature the size of Leviathan into space would have been a significant engineering challenge. It is likely they used Ezo for ease of travel, as the Hanar do, and employed cybernetic filtration to breathe air as well as oxygenated water. It is unknown if the Leviathans have modified themselves with the equivalent of a biotic amplifier, but it seems probable. The faster-than-light communication of their pulses would require precise control previously unknown to modern science. One can only guess at the innovations of this species, and the Leviathans are volunteering no such information. The fall of Earth. The Reapers took Earth in a matter of hours. The Alliance knew the first wave would arrive from Batarian space, but they were unprepared for the speed and scale of the attack. The Reapers bypassed the 6th and 7th fleets at Terra Nova and Eden Prime, flying straight from relay to relay where they could neither be tracked nor intercepted. The tactic was unexpected since the navies of organic species would never risk coming out of FTL within combat range or leaving enemies at their backs to threaten supply lines. At Arcturus Station, more than a dozen Reaper capital ships engaged the Alliance's 2nd, 3rd, and 5th fleets. This was mere screening for the main force. Dozens more capital ships continued through the Charon relay, where the 1st fleet had been lying in wait but was soon destroyed. The 4th fleet near Earth had a few minutes of advance warning. It stood no better chance. After destroying Earth's comm buoys, smaller Reaper destroyers wiped out all GPS and communication satellites in Earth's orbits and cut the undersea fiber optic cables that link the continents. Earth's resistance now relies on outdated radio towers and a few quantum entanglement communicators whose matched pairs happen to be on the other continents or outside the Sol system. Communication is so limited that the fate of entire nations remains unknown. The capital ships bombarded defense installations and industrial centers, annihilating entire cities with populations in the low millions, including Adelaide, Hamburg, Al Jubail, and Fort Worth. Meanwhile, Reaper destroyers descended into the atmosphere to melt roads and capture population centers with minimal loss of life. This is not an example of the Reapers being merciful. More likely, they are hurting their prey to make the coming harvest that much easier. The fall of Karshan. For every 1,000 Batarian refugees, there are 1,001 stories about how the Reapers invaded the Batarian systems. A few elements are common to almost every version, however. The Reapers arrived first in the Vular system and immediately destroyed its communications network. The Hegemony's Department of Information Control blamed the loss of signal on space weather, but scrambled ships to the system nonetheless. Within a day, Reaper capital ships appeared in the Harsa system and descended on the Batarian homeworld, Karshan. For all the rhetoric about the Hegemony's military prowess, their response to the Reapers was uncoordinated. Moments after the information minister took to the extranet and announced that unknown ships were destroying all space traffic near Karshan, the defense minister declared there was no reason to panic. The planet's comm buoys were destroyed next, creating an ominous silence that has persisted ever since. Fearing they were next, Batarian colonies across Hegemony space began evacuations. So many refugees poured into the human-occupied Exodus cluster that Systems Alliance officials at first thought the Batarians were invading. More systems have gone dark as their comm buoys were destroyed, and millions more Batarians trapped on their planets sit waiting for the Reapers. Battle of Palaven, where when Tatras fell, the Turians knew little about the Reapers except that they wanted to enrage the Turians. Staying calm, the Turians massed in force around Palaven, their homeworld. Fleet Admiral Erix Coronati, in what became known as the 15-minute plan, stationed only 2 carriers, undaunted and resolute, near the system's relay. When the Reaper fleet emerged, the carriers launched swarms of unmanned fighters and spy drones. These were quickly destroyed, but the drones transmitted vital data on the Reaper's effective range, fleet composition, and exact location. Turian's other ships then deployed to defend the system in earnest. Knowing that the Reaper's weapons had a longer effective range than any of his own, Coronati made a short, daring FTL jump, landing his dreadnoughts in the middle of the Reaper fleet. The dreadnoughts then turned to line up their main guns on the Reapers, which also needed to turn to fire on the Turians. This ploy used the Reaper's size against them because they could turn faster. The Turian dreadnoughts locked targets first, and their concentrated firepower downed several Reaper capital ships. The Reapers countered instantly. Their destroyers performed a jump of their own to the skies above Palaven, beginning orbital strikes on Turian cities. The Turians, forced to defend the planet, found themselves in a pinched battle far away from the relay, from which emerged a seamlessly endless line of Reaper ships. After massive casualties, Coronati ordered retreat. The Turians insist that Palaven is not lost. The battle has merely moved to the ground. Reaper troop transports have dumped hordes of husks to capture Palaven's inhabitants, but meet with little success. Reaper capital ships are destroying city after city, but much of the Turian fleet is still operable, and the citizenry is heavily armed. The Turians refuse to be intimidated. Very cool. So we're getting close. Well, as always, I appreciate y'all for stopping by, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, peace out, y'all.